Oh, good evening in the UK and good afternoon in the USA. And Nupi is chilling out here as we deal with technical issues. Anyway, I am Drew, aka the guy in the blue shirt. And my method is simpler, faster, better. And I'm in the beautiful Tempe, Arizona. And I am so honored to introduce on a live stream, first ever live stream for the Glitter Practitioner. So Nupi, tell us a little bit more about where you are. I know you're a little stressed out, but
I am. Oh my God, technology, for heaven's sake. So I'm in Didsbury, I'm in Manchester, in the UK. I am trying desperately to keep this camera holding straight. So I'm just gonna just chat and hold the camera. It's no problem.
We got you. Don't worry. Everybody understands.
I'm glitterifying. I'm literally glitterifying as we speak.
Well, as long as your glitter doesn't rub off or run off in the sweat under pressure, right?
Not at all.
Oh, there we go. A true professional.
Oh dear.
Yeah. So, a little context. I recently met Dr. Nupi from Veronica, and Veronica and I have been collaborating. In fact, she's been a coach to me on my online Ignite time saving to time wasters, et cetera course. So, and again, you can tell I'm not prepared either to deal with technology issues sometimes. So, Veronica introduced us, and then we had a Zoom in, and we thought, you know what, this is really good contextual content right now, particularly as the healthcare industry and the association with healthcare is going through tremendous change. So tell us a little bit about your healthcare background, and then we'll get into why you decided to venture out on your own and some of the things you're up to.
Okay, so I'm a GP. I've been a doctor for 24 years now, qualified in 98 from Guy's and St Thomas's in London. And I very early on knew I wanted to do general practice. It's always people in general. I'm a people person, and people's backstories, the impact of what they're experiencing and then on their health. I've always been curious. It's always fascinated me. So did my GP training. That was all in London. And then I've been a GP partner for, blimey, about 16 years now. And over that time, I've been a lead in, where I work actually is a very deprived inner city practice. And, huge amounts of complexity when it comes to social health, mental health, physical. And, we've got the highest rates of safeguarding, domestic abuse. And when you're sat in a community where you are one of the healthcare providers, and this is where my passion is, it's really understanding the root cause of somebody's problem and how you create understanding. And when you're combining physical health, emotional health, psychological and spiritual, that's what I bring in. That's the glitter effect. That is what people, I see the light coming back into people's eyes. And that's why it's the Glitter Practitioner. And I love glitter, of course, but it's incredible. So I love what I do. I really do. I live and breathe how I practice, which is extremely holistic. It's mind, body, and spirit the whole way. And I learned that not through medical school, through my own experience of burnout about 12 years ago, which, I was forced to stop. I was flat out. It was shite. Oh God, sorry, you've got to bleep that.
Go for it. I do sometimes.
It was awful. And, like anything, things like this, they're here, things happen, completely challenges you. And the biggest thing, it was like a light bulb moment. I was blessed. I was lucky enough to use my private healthcare and access, one of the top psychologists, and it was chemotherapy. And as I'm doing this, I was a perfectionist then, and I'm now a recovered perfectionist, as I'd call it. I was following everything to the T.
Mm-hmm.
And it was what I learned. It was the insight from understanding my own needs, really understanding what that means, taking ownership. And it was from that moment, really, it was like I recovered and I thought, you know what? My patients are never going to be able to access this type of stuff because the waiting lists are so long. And it made perfect sense to me. It made perfect sense that you're combining the full picture, because inherently that's what I'd always been doing, but with more, knowing what that felt like. And that's what I started bringing into my daily practice. Everything I guess I've learned for myself, how to keep your balance of mind and body and spirit. And it's combining that with the science of the evidence-based medicine, which is my knowledge base. Holy crap, man, that is powerful. And it's showing somebody as well, empowering somebody else to do the same. I mean, and that's why I love what I do, because it works. It absolutely works. And, you can change trajectories in your life. You absolutely can. And I'm not for 1 minute saying the backstory to how you are and where you are right now. I'm not saying let's just fix it, wave a magic wand. No, but understanding where it comes from and understanding how to deal and how to use just simple, basic coping strategies in the here and now without any sort of fuss and drama, without any sort of, complications. It's simplified for a reason, because this is bloody hard when you're in this situation. It's shite. It really is. So that's where I came up with the F list, and I'm talking to patients and I'm sort of telling them what I've been learning, which is food, fluids, food, you've got to eat, you've got to drink plenty of water. And as I'm saying it, I'm going food, fluids, fresh air. And with my patients, I'm going, holy shit, man, every word begins with an F. This is going to be called my F list. And it was, really, really inventive. But what started as 5 Fs 10 years ago is now 10. And I have patients who come back and say to me, oh my gosh, Dr. Arora, this fell out of my purse. I've kept it on my fridge for, X amount of years. It changed my life. And, all of this is where this comes from. And it's the way I see it. It completely lights me up, because it's that transfer of energy. It's that transfer of skill. And it's a two-way process. And also, when you're going through something like this, it's really just cutting through everything and really using those skills. It's compassion. It's giving somebody hope. And then, involving other support services. It's not a one-person thing here, but it's that transfer. And oh my God, I take that every single time. And this is what I'm sort of spreading out, really. And it's not mine to keep, is how I say it and how I feel. I've been sharing it for the last, decade, if not longer. And, other people can value and can benefit from this. And that's what I'm doing. So I'm writing a book. I'm starting to coach other physicians. And yeah, I'm on a mission, basically. I'm glitterifying left, right, and center. It's got the glitter bomb explosions.
The comments fly by quickly for me, and I'm not a multitasker. So I'm going to do some shout outs. Just take a little breath there. Keep your glittering smile on, and we'll come back, because I wanted to make some comments about your F list. It's okay. All right. So we got Roger, Margaret, Mitch, Livia. I spoke to her.
Oh, wow.
Margaret again, me. Veronica. Hey, Veronica's in the house. Lee is in the house. Oh, Alexandra Rosso, who's got her Spice program. So if you guys, I think you recently connected on them. And then Dr. Rani? So I'm sorry if I obliterated your name. So anyway, So yes, the good old F list. I won't obviously fill in the blanks on what the F list here in the USA might mean. So you can be creative with that one. But what is really interesting, and I said this when we were talking on Zoom, I am so blown away how we're all more alike than we are disalike. So, you know, you talk to me a lot about simplicity, and of course, my method is simpler, faster, better. And I know when we were chatting about that, we both also agreed that, you know, faster is kind of misleading sometimes, particularly in the medical practice, because again, I can only really comment more about the US medical system. You know, we are a fix-it system here, and we like to fix things fast, which means that we pretty much treat the symptoms and not the root cause of a problem. And our whole medical industry is pretty much based on that, with the exception of people like Alexandria and Clara Bruno, those people that I've met more recently that are more about holistic and getting to the root cause. But yeah, so the whole thing about going faster is that we also both agreed that to go faster, you actually have to slow down, to actually drive into or deep dive into what are the root causes. And once you start helping people understand, number one, what the root causes are, you can come up with actually more holistic solutions that actually get them to the place that they want to be, which is, you know, we all want to be simpler. We all want to have a, you know, easy, fast way of life that's better for everybody. So that was our common ground. And again, Veronica had the intuition to link us all together. So eternally thankful for that, Veronica. And,
ditto.
And yeah, so, and Michelle's just jumped into the feed. Thank you so much. You are so supportive. And our glitter practitioner, I know, talk about getting into the growth movement, right? You know, growing as we're trying to go live, right? So talk a little bit about, you know, and I'm sure you're saying to yourself, oh, I can't do this. I can't figure this out. I can't. So what got you to be on this live stream after I can't? Talk a little bit about that.
So I just breathed. I was sat here going, I won't swear, but I was saying FFS, you know, literally. And I thought, you know what? I can do this. I'm not going to give up. Technology and me and stuff like this. Oh my God, it's the bane of my life. But I've learned how to do, and I was fiddling around with my laptop. And then I've got this gorgeous music on in the background, which I was listening to, All That I Am, which a very good friend had shared with me. And I was in the zone anyway. And I literally just went F off to my, you know, oh my God, I can't do it. I'm so shit, this, that, the other, which was going on in my head, which is number one in my F list, and focused and breathed. And I literally just kept that. And then I thought, no, I'm just going to slow things down, which is what I did. Kept an eye on the time, thinking, you know what, I'm not giving up until I've actually really just keep going. And I did. And then I was delighted when I saw your face. And then I was like, oh, yep. But yeah.
Well, it's interesting because we are so more alike everybody than disalike. And because I actually put in one of the DMs to you, breathe, right? It said breathe.
In my head. Yeah.
I could hear you saying through the screen, that's the last thing I want to do. I just want to get connected.
Do you know what? I was like, I read the breathe and I was like, oh. And then I did. And then I did exactly that. So typical. Yes. But hey, this is the first time. This is the first time I've ever actually, it's the first time I've done this. And I need some lessons on technology, I think.
We all got to start.
Yeah. So yeah, exactly.
And, you know, and the cool thing about firsts is that I've been blessed to host many LinkedIn live guests as firsts, and they always get a little bit nervous or not sure, and it always works out. And it's funny. So I actually love doing firsts. So maybe your F list is going to grow a little bit. I think it's got 10 elements on it.
Yes, right, it does.
Right? So I think you should add something around first.
Okay.
And I think you should base it on this real life story, right? The real life
Yeah.
story, because trust me, there are other people that are either not your patients, that are your patients out there, and you're asking them to do, well, just do this because it's easy for you because you've been doing it for 12 plus years, right?
Absolutely.
For them, it's the hardest first step they're ever going to take. So you
And
might
that's
want
exactly it. Absolutely. That is absolutely it.
Yeah, you might want to add an 11th F word to your list where you talk about first. Because again, a lot of people that have experience, and I do this all the time, I fall into this trap all the time. I assume that people know where I'm coming from at the experience and the knowledge level that I'm at. But people are not there. So you got to kind of, and also the other F word might be, you know, you followed my lead, right? I was sending you DMs and you were a student. So that's the other F word that
absolutely
it may already be on your list, but following.
It is.
Right? Following, you've got to follow either a lead or a role model or both. And again, being first to something, the more you follow, the simpler, faster, better it actually becomes, right?
Yeah, absolutely.
And then the 13th one, it's got to be the 13th one. You can put you can put oh frig on it. You know, if all else fails, just say frig.
That's number one.
Oh, okay, that's number one. All right. Well, I haven't seen the list, but
oh no, you haven't actually. Did I not do it with you?
No, you didn't do it with me, but it's good. All right.
Okay.
So yeah, more comments. Veronica's supporting us. Thanks. Yeah. I'm the anchor. Oh, well, thanks. I'm not sure if that's good or bad. I'm the spike of the anchor. I can be a pain in the butt to some people sometimes. The spike of the anchor, if that helps. All right. So yeah. So I know you're willing to share the F list, right? Not through this live interview. So if somebody wants the F list, what do you want them to do?
Just go on my profile on LinkedIn, which is being updated as we speak, and just get in touch with me. Just direct message me.
Right.
I love meeting new people anyway, and I can start that conversation. And just to follow on really from what you said, absolutely. The hardest step, the most difficult part of all of this is recognizing I'm not okay, and that's all right. And taking that first step. And I guess what I'm here to say is it's okay. I know how that feels, and we're doing this together. And yeah, just get in touch. Just get in touch with me on LinkedIn.
Right. And for those of you that might hop over there now, if you're in America, I'll translate a little bit because she has GP on there. And as soon as I saw it, I thought, oh, she's into Grand Prix. And then I realized general practitioner. So if you see GP on her profile, it means she is a fully fledged, fully qualified general practitioner, or doctor, as we generally call them here in the US. And then you said something really cute earlier as well. You were saying, oh, blimey. So for a lot of people that are from the US, blimey is similar to, oh, my word, or I can't believe it. So it's interesting. When I moved to the USA, I would say all of these, English colloquialisms, and people would say to me, Bruce, what are you talking about? Because again, it's we take it from that place that we're comfortable in, right? And people are clueless sometimes, and it's not that they're not intelligent or smart or aware. It's just that words can have a strange effect on people, both positively and negatively. So
absolutely. And what a word, sometimes what it means to one person is a completely different thing to somebody else. And that goes also with language and culture. The number of times I've been in clinic and somebody would be, I can speak Hindi fluently now, but they would say something and interpret it themselves. And I would just go, it's okay, I can understand. I'm not very good at speaking, but I can. Tell me in Hindi what you say. And the context of the whole thing just changes completely. And it's words can be very powerful.
Absolutely.
And that's the whole thing when I'm teaching or when I'm talking to somebody. It's connecting from my heart. It really is. And it's also then communicating in a way which makes perfect sense to the other person's heart. And that's the transfer I'm talking about. And you know when it's happening, because I get the angel zing, 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 the energy flow. I can feel it, as can my patients. And they're like, oh my God, I just feel so much better just for talking and this. And it's more than just talking. It's really understanding and holding a safe space. And that is what I see in somebody's eyes. It's that hope. It's that it's their inner light starting to shine again. And oh my God, I could talk about this for hours. I really could. And that's why I do what I do, how I do it. Absolutely.
God, no, hey, well, you have a taker. Margaret wants your list. So you
with pleasure, Margaret.
I'll post the hashtag replay immediately after, and people can go back through. And again, if I miss questions, I apologize. Those of you that have worked with me before, I am absolutely useless at multitasking, and I know that. So I don't even try to become better at that, because I like to focus on listening to the guest and watching the guest, et cetera, et cetera. So yeah, so the other fascinating thing with your last name is Arora, and it's interesting because we had a long conversation about you know, how you use that to help calm your patients down, and also to get them to see that you really feel and are close to what they're feeling. So why don't you talk a little bit more about how you use, you know, particularly in your holistic approach, not only your aura, but your intuition, because I find that absolutely fascinating, particularly in the mind, body, spirit, or mind, body, soul. There's different definitions of MBA.
Absolutely.
So yeah, talk a little bit more about how you...
Sure. Yeah. So when it's recognition, I think, and it's in being in tune, I guess, with your own needs and your own self, and awake and seeing and noticing the signs, you know, around you. That is where that starts from. And how I use it is when somebody comes in, you know, it doesn't matter. It doesn't have to be an emotional issue. It could be anything, actually. It's what I see and read in their eye. I can see it in their eyes. I know what's wrong from my sensing almost. And I actively use that channel, that intuition, which is obviously, you know, honed. Everybody, you know, doctors, we talk about a gut instinct, you know, when you're treating patients, a gut instinct told me I had to do this, or I had to go over something. Everybody has it. Everybody has this capacity and ability to do this. It's how you use it, and I guess how in tune you are with it. That's what I almost bring in, and it's light. And the patient, actually, you've reminded me of a story, because I'm doing my Fs or whatever was going on at the time, using the Fs, and you know, he was like, it's like there's light back. And I'm like, yeah, it was cloudy outside or something. And I said, yes, you know, we've done some breathing. This is what happened. And he was like, no, it's like your name. And I said, what do you mean? And I was like, oh, God, yeah, the Aurora Borealis, it's shining light. But it's shining light with words, with knowledge, with shared experience. And it's phenomenal. It's amazing. It's incredible.
Right.
And everybody has their own unique light, you know, and that's what I mean about, you know, find your fizz. That fizz is what I'm talking about. It's the inner sense of self. It's how you know, look after your own needs, you know, doing the things that you love doing with a passion. And who says you can't? You know, no, I won't take that. I don't accept, oh, I'm okay. No, I want you to be the very best of you. And it's what I said, actually, to when I was complete, you know, when I was better. I feel like me again. I'm me with frigging bells on. And that's what I'm talking about. It's like, and my name, actually, my first name means tinkling of the bells. So it's like bells, light. This is what it is.
Right. So for those of you that may not know, or just go Google Aurora Borealis, you'll see that it's got lots of colors, and it's actually got movement as well. So So I think it's the combination of the
Absolutely.
energy, movement, the light, and yeah, it's amazing. And then you said something really, really important as well, which I find it staggering. You said you gotta be awake. And I find it staggering that particularly people that are in the wrong place, doing the wrong thing at the wrong time, they're not awake. It's almost like their shell is there, but their mind and their spirit is somewhere else. It's like, it's unbelievable to me. And then the other thing, you remind me of, not only the last time we spoke, but again today, is, your intuition is rarely wrong, right? And every time that I don't listen to, touch upon, or use my intuition, it's like, oh, really, Bruce? Whose fault was that?
I know.
Who owns
and that's the thing.
The person who's giving you bad vibes, it's me as the receiver that's not listening to the vibes I'm getting. So
exactly. Notice. It's taking notice. And sometimes, you mentioned something there about, people not being awake, or they're not, sometimes people don't even realize that there's something just not quite right.
Yeah.
And that is the whole point. So if you're in healthcare and somebody's coming to you as a first port of call, too bloody right, I'm going to share what I do for myself, and actually helping somebody to really understand what this chronic health problem might mean. And then you're using all the different aspects fully, holistically, the whole person. And I think that's the real drive here. It's all the knowledge that you have as a physician, coupled with all of this. This is what makes it, transformational. And that's my experience of sharing this for however long, how many years it's been now, with patients, because lives transform. You can transform yourself. Obviously, with support and with help, and if medication is needed, so be it. But this forms really the core foundation. And if you've got a solid core foundation, knowing exactly how to keep it topped up, how to replenish yourself. If you don't follow your intuition, okay, that's all right. Learn from that experience. It doesn't need to define you, is the whole aspect of this. And as like the light, which you mentioned, the Aurora Borealis, it's forever changing. And that's the beauty of this. It's not static. We're not static. We grow, we evolve, we learn from other people, we make mistakes, and that's where all of this, I guess, comes from.
I just had a crazy imaginary thought, because I like to play with words in my head. Maybe your holistic medicine should start with a W. So that it's holistic, the whole thing.
Yes, absolutely. And funny enough, Bruce, that's exactly how, when I'm writing my book and, starting to post now, that's exactly how I write holistic. I actually put whole is stick, and it's the whole person. So yeah.
Oh, okay. Well, there we go. See,
there we go. You completely picked up. No, but you completely picked up on it, which is cool.
Right, and that's why I love to do unscripted lives, because I am always amazed at how more alike we are than disalike, and there's always common ground. And some people kind of say to me, "Well, that had to be scripted, Bruce." No, it's not. It's just like this ain't not scripted, right?
This is so fucking not scripted. No, Jesus, I'm holding my phone in my arm. I'm like, okay, this is good. I got this.
You got this. You need rest, or you need to change it over?
No, I've changed over already.
Yeah. All right, so we're going good on time anyway. So and it's funny because more about that holistic thing. People will often say to me, Bruce, well, why do you put all the time and effort into hosting these guests from all over the place? And I remind them, where else twice a week on this planet can I go to Global University? Right? Every time I interview somebody like yourself, or it doesn't matter who it is, I get to go on a Global University jaunt with that person, and it's like amazing, because who would have thought that 3 weeks ago, before Veronica introduced us, that I'd have the opportunity to be chatting with you in Digby, Manchester area, and me in Tempe, Arizona, about things bigger and greater than ourselves, and how we can all support each other in being more holistic about how we look after ourselves and how we look after other people. I mean, who would have thought, right?
Absolutely. I love that. I love the way you put that, actually. A global university. I love that. And that's what it is. It's sharing. Every person is, I had no idea when Veronica linked us up together, and it's just amazing. And it's trusting the people around you and trusting, when you connect with people, you really do. And I guess it's allowing that to happen. It's trusting different processes as well. And it's fab. It really, really is.
Right. Actually, Alexandra just said something. So this is the best tool on the planet, little tripod.
Aha.
It goes in your carry-on luggage. I take it with me whenever I travel. It's been a lifesaver, and I've actually done a couple of lives from very strange places before. Probably the strangest one was in the back of an Uber. So I know I was late, the plane was delayed, the Uber got lost, and I wasn't sure. I didn't know where we were going. So yeah, I started it was my 100th live stream. I was hosting it, and I started from the back of the Uber, and I involved the guy in the Uber driver.
Brilliant.
I know. Well, so this saved my life. I eventually got out of the car, and he threw my bags on the driveway. I wasn't sure if I was in the right Airbnb even, because there was no address. So it was like, am I in the right spot? I don't know. Anyway, so the tripod can save your life. So great investment.
And it'll save my arm for sure. Yeah.
Well, it will save your 𝒂𝐴𝐴𝐴𝐴𝐴𝐴𝐴𝐴 as well. All right. Good point, Alexandra. She is.
Thank you.
Yeah, she's a great. So if you haven't watched Alexandra's live stream, she's always talking about her methodology SPICE, and I believe this week it's the I, which is the internal work, is part of what she's doing, and that's actually we have a lot of that in common because part of her teachings and learnings is how do you use time more effectively, and how do you stop doing all the time wasting things and only focus on the value time things, the time saver things, so all good. All right. So Ligio, yes, good point. She's actually my guest on Friday. I have another one tomorrow, Tuesday, Elaine. And then on Friday, Lydia's up, and I was chatting to her about some of the things that we experience, just being first, being natural, and just being yourself. So I'm glad she's over in Costa Rica. So see, tomorrow, I got to go to Costa Rica Global University.
It's amazing.
It is absolutely.
It is.
All right. So some final words on, what do you got? What have you got coming up? Obviously, talk about the brand of glitter, because we did say, hey, let's maybe the manufacturer will see this and sponsor you.
With pleasure. Oh my goodness. So I have a couple, actually. So the glitter eyeliners I always fail-safe always go to are the not Barry M even, Urban Decay. That's the one.
Urban Decay. All right.
Urban Decay, their glitter eyeliners are phenomenal, and it's so easy. You just literally squish it on, and it looks fabulous. I get a lot of comments on when I'm wearing that one, which I am tonight. And also Barry M, the Barry M glitter pots and glitter dust. They're fantastic.
All right.
Love it. Yeah.
Okay, so if anyone's watching this or watching this on replay, and some of either of those companies, Dr. Nupi would love to be the brand ambassador for them.
I'd love to. Oh, yeah. Wow.
Wouldn't that be fun? Well, and the reason that came up is I'm blessed that Jacqueline Quinnett is the sponsor of my blue shirts now for my cleanup shirts. So that's how that came up. So really cool stuff. All right. So what's the next quarter look like? And then you already said that you love to meet people through LinkedIn.
So I guess the next bit now is I'm reaching out to physicians essentially and sharing what I've been doing to other people, because I mean, right now it's the pandemic, everything that's going on. It's the profession it's been on its knees for ages, but this is just literally it's been hideous for so many people. And I guess I was thinking a lot about this, who do I want to be helping? Who do I want to be reaching? And the thing is, I understand the language. I understand what the time, the effort, the commitment, med school training, all of that. It's not easy. And I've, made certain decisions because of the stuff I love doing and actually the impact it has. This is why I'm stepping aside almost. I'm still doing clinical practice, but at the heart of it, if you've got, physicians who are frazzled, frustrated, fed up, it's okay to put your needs and prioritize you first. It's what you're giving to your patients. And that's my biggie. That's my next thing. And actually I've just remembered, I've been invited to high schools to share with sixth formers resilience, not so much resilient F listing, basically. It's spreading the word of how you keep your balance, physical, emotional, psychological, and spiritual, and what that actually means without using fancy pants languages and words and stuff. So that's the other thing I'm going to be involved with, high schools.
So for the US, that's 8th graders here.
Yes. And med students. I forgot about med students, medical students as well. Yes. Right. Everybody's being glittered.
You have some, we're talking glitter. You have some glitter fans in the house, so you better be sure in the comments to share your brands with Lee and Michelle and Roger. He's anyway, they're all amazed at the glittering you.
Oh, that's amazing. Oh, thank you. Oh, wow. Oh, I'm gonna cry now.
Go for it.
I was actually. I was getting quite emotional before, but thank you so much.
All right, so I'm gonna do my selfish outtake. So just hang a minute, because if I don't do it on a little video, I forget what to say.
That's fine. I can change my arm.
Yeah, you can change your arm. You do that. And then don't go away, because we'll say goodbye to everyone. All right.
Sure.
Okay. All right.
So, what if your processes do not work well? Did you know you can save or eliminate massive amounts of wasted steps, time, money, or other resources? Bruce can show or teach you how. Take the next step. Visit his website at processcleanup.com and book a casual yet confidential call with Bruce. It just might change your world forever.
There we go. How about that?
How about that?
Yeah. All right. Well, thanks everyone for listening in, and thank you so much for the participation and your love and support of everything that Dr. Nupi's doing. And I have a pretty confident view of her and what she's going to do. So hey, watch out for her. And then, let us know when you update your page, because I know we talked about some ideas there. So it'd be great to see what you do and how
definitely.
And if you're interested in services that either Dr. Nupi or I provide, then don't hesitate. If you're shy, just direct message us. And I do actually answer my direct messages personally. I know some people don't, but I do. So, all right. Well, thanks, everyone. Hang on a little bit as we detach here. Good night. Good afternoon.